You are watching Political Point Magazine. Where the right is right and the left, well, the left is always on the wrong side of history. Why? Because political minds want to know. So enjoy a conservative point of view. And let's talk pea soup with tonight's top stories. Well, has America gone insane? We will explain about some things that have been going on in America today that I find quite interesting, quite shocking. All right. And now Obama tours New York and Pennsylvania. It's as if he's on the campaign trail again. He's always campaigning. He's not being president. Okay, but he apparently wants to rate education. Yeah, get that. All right, we will talk about that. And also, what is the administration doing about the chaos in Syria and over at the weapons of mass destruction? And also, has the red line been crossed? What is Obama planning on doing about this? We will talk about that. And polls are finding that Obamacare is in serious disapproval. Yep, that's right. We got some fascinating polls on this. And also, it's time to bring back stop and frisk, the best way to stop gun violence and gun crime. Okay? Apparently, a court in New York vilified the stop and frisk program. So it is time to repeal that ruling and get that back in play. And with that, my friends, we will take it to the phones and talk to you, the viewer, on all of this. But welcome to another edition of Political Point Magazine. And I am your humble host, William Mitro. That's right, my friend. All right. Well, let's cut to the chase here. Let's cut to the chase. Well, it appears now, my friends, that we are in critical times here. Because, now, if I may, now, comment on a lot of things that Obama has done. You know, namely, we now know that his foreign policy is a disaster. Okay, and it's coming to pass here. But anyhow, a few things here. Okay, I want to mention here. Okay, that our situation. Okay, Obama goes around and he tours across the country now. All right, which is I think is totally insane. He's not even being commander in chief anymore. He's being campaigner in chief. All right, and this guy, I mean, he goes around and he wants to rate the education system, right? All right. So this, my friends, is quite. When hasn't he seen the latest on education these days? All right. Our education system, in fact, okay. Now, when people graduate from college, it's hard. The jobs aren't available. All right. It's hard to find a job now, and you know why that is? It's because of memo to Obama. Hello. It's your policies that are causing that. In fact, now in a recent poll numbers. In fact, Gallup is showing a figure of the unemployment rate in this country. Okay, Gallup's latest unemployment figures show a significant jump from July's 7.7% unemployment rate to 8.9% released Wednesday. Okay, the figures also show that unemployment increased, the underemployment rate increased from 17.1% to 17.9%. Okay, now we all know that the Obama administration has been um, propagandizing the numbers here, and it's like they don't have a clue that their policies are causing this tremendous rise in unemployment. Okay, mind you, the unemployment rate for the African American community is the highest it's been under in under any president. Okay, Obama hasn't done jack scrap for the black community, and it's showing in his policies, our economic policies, mind you. Okay, now seven. Now, I have this written down here. All right, but seven out of 8 jobs created that have been created under this administration have all been part-time jobs. All right, 54% of 54% of American workers make less than $30,000 a year. All right, and the average duration of unemployment was 20 weeks when Obama took office. Now it's 37 weeks under Obama. All right, more than 8 million Americans have stopped looking for work under Obama. All right, the U.S. trade deficit with China was 268 billion when Obama took office, but now it's 315 billion under Obama. And mind you, the poverty rate stands at 16%. That is higher now than in 1965 when the war on poverty began. Okay? Now, Obama is actually Obama's policies are actually creating the bigger gap between the rich and the poor. All right? And it's like this guy is crazy. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's running the White House like a child. All right? I could do a better job as president. I mean Americans getting food stamps have increased by by 11,000 per day since Obama took office. All right. This is so ridiculous. All right. He expanded the welfare state, which isn't doing a damn thing for the economy. All right. Okay. And the average worker health insurance costs have increased 29% since Obama took office. All right. Obama does not know what he's doing. All right. And now, my friends, it's just getting ridiculous. And I ask the question now, has America gone insane? All right. Has America gone insane? Now, let me explain. All right. On a recent episode of the O'Reilly Factor, he had Charles Krauthammer on, and they were talking about the marijuana laws that were in Colorado and Washington State, and this I find very, very shocking. I mean, take a look at this. All right, take a look at this.
Tonight, a permissive culture and American children. Last night, we reported on a pot festival in Seattle, where underage kids were seen openly smoking marijuana in public, and the cops did nothing about it. A few years ago, the late Judge Robert Bork wrote a book called Slouching Toward Gomorrah that predicted this kind of thing would happen and children would be adversely affected. Joining us now from Washington with some perspective, Charles Krauthammer. So I think this culture that we have now in America is currently harming children. Am I wrong?
Well, it's clear that even in Washington State, where they legalized marijuana, they thought it's not a good idea for kids to smoke it. So they actually have a law that says nobody under 21. They also think it's not a good idea for it to be rampant in a way that sort of says anything goes. So they have a law that says it shouldn't be done in public. So they even they, the most liberal state in the union on this, recognize there ought to be limits. The problem with what you showed last night is they have no intention of enforcing the limits.
Right.
And if so, then why do you pass the limits in the first place? It's an act of pure hypocrisy and sort of covering yourself.
I think it's a fraud more than hypocrisy. I think it's a fraud. Everyone in Seattle knows, including the police who have been given orders not to enforce the marijuana laws on any level. So if you have a 9-year-old token in the street, cop's going to go, oh, you know, be safe, sonny, or something like this. But it's a larger picture. Did you know that in Colorado they're going to put in marijuana vending machines? Did you know that? That's coming in Colorado.
Well, I'll check them out the next time I'm in Denver.
Okay, but we can be flippant about it. But you know what I'm saying? That once a child gets involved with intoxication, as a psychiatrist, you know this, and as a former teacher, I know this. Once a child gets involved with intoxication of any kind, childhood is over, their whole life changes, and not for the better. And this is what's happening here in America.
Well, look, let me stipulate a couple of things. Number one, alcohol is a lot worse. I've seen what it does as a doctor. It destroys the body, aggression, car accidents, a lot of damage. If I were starting a society from scratch and had to choose the intoxicant, I would outlaw alcohol and I'd allow marijuana. It's benign compared to alcohol. The problem is this, Bill. You never start society from scratch. Alcohol is ingrained in the culture. We learned that in Prohibition. You have to regulate it. And my question is, do we really want to add a second intoxicant onto that? Because who knows, it leads to other things. Look, marijuana is not the worst thing in the world. There's a lot worse. There are harder drugs. There is alcoholism. There's abortion, the crime, a lot of other stuff that I think I would consider. But I don't.
For a child,
yes, it does.
The message being sent to children is it's okay. When I was growing up and when you were growing up, all right, as children now, not once the Vietnam thing kicked in and drugs, sex, and rock and roll, but as children, we were taught that this was forbidden. It was not a good thing. The exact opposite message is now getting across. And you couple that with what's happening in the entertainment industry, with the rap music and all of this stuff that's coming out of there. And strong, responsible parents can counter it to some extent. But derelict, weak parents cannot. And I'm telling you, Bork was right. Our culture now is actually actively harming the most defenseless among us, the children. It is.
But what's odd is that was the argument made by Bork and many others, especially in the 80s when this became rampant. But what's interesting is that many of the indices of social dysfunction, like teenage pregnancy, like crime, homicide, all these things, they have gone down over the last 20 years.
But they've intensified in certain areas.
That's true.
In certain precincts.
But generally speaking, I'd agree with you. As the culture has become more coarse, there's this paradoxical effect where most of the indices of social dysfunction have actually improved. So I'm not sure we really know the correlation. But I agree with you on the point. You don't want children stoned. You don't want a lot of people in society stoned. I would be very interested. I do think that the states are the laboratories of democracy. And it's interesting that we should study what happens in Washington and Colorado, because We will see as the social science comes in. Has this had an effect on addiction to harder drugs? Has this had an effect on auto accidents? And you know, the one thing you know is a society where everybody is stoned is not going to do very well. Competing with other societies, driving the cars in the street, raising children, being aware and attentive. The worst thing about a stoned child is they're missing out on the periods of learning, social and moral and educational. They lose thousands of hours of their lives when they need to be developing, and that's what you lose with marijuana.
Okay, well, I agree with most of that in there, all right? But I disagree with Krauthammer when he says that alcohol is worse than marijuana, all right? Now, this is where this is the part that I really want to educate people on this, because marijuana is harmful, all right? Now, on this, okay, we have a study, in fact, all right, a study that says marijuana triggers psychosis, all right? In fact, let me read this to you, all right? Now, this study was done in Australia, and okay, now it says, and this was reported on CBS News, okay, and it says advocates of medical marijuana say that pot has all sorts of health benefits, but a new study from Australia suggests that smoking pot can drive some people crazy, or at least make them go crazy sooner than they would have if they never picked up the pipe at all. Okay? Now, the study published online in Archives of Psychiatry, of General Psychiatry, shows that potheads develop severe mental illnesses like schizophrenia about 2.7 years earlier than people who don't smoke marijuana at all. All right. Now, the link between smoking pot and mental illnesses appears strongest in children 12 to 15 years of age. All right. Now, they develop mental illnesses that might not have shown up until their late teens or early 20s. All right. Now, if they showed up at all. And now the results of this study provide strong evidence that reducing cannabis use could delay or even prevent some cases of psychosis. Okay? Now, what explains the link between marijuana use and severe mental illnesses? One possibility, according to Dr. Large, is that pot smoking actually causes psychosis. Okay? Other possibilities, he said, are that pot might hasten the onset of psychotic symptoms and vulnerable people, all right, and make symptoms of psychosis worse, all right. Now, but other scientists say there are alternative explanations, but okay, in this, my friends, okay, now excuse me, all right, but now this study is actually backed up, okay, by another study in Germany, all right. Now, the study found, okay, that researchers assessed assessed marijuana use during a 10-year study of 1,923 participants aged 14 to 24 in Germany. Okay? Now, those participants who had no psychotic symptoms and had never tried marijuana when the study began and then started using marijuana had nearly double the risk of experiencing psychotic symptoms in the future. All right? And those who used marijuana before the start of the study and who continued use over the study period had an increased risk of persistent psychotic symptoms. Okay, the study shows. Now, all right, so this goes to show you that marijuana is harmful, very, very harmful, and it can and will cause damage, and if you smoke it to excess, it will kill you. All right, so the message is here: keep your kids off drugs. All right, it's not worth it. Okay, now the president goes out there and tries to campaign on better education and stuff like that, but he doesn't understand that his policies are actually curbing education in this country. You know what? We were ranked as far as education nationwide, okay, as far as globally, okay, the United States of America came in 15th as far as education was concerned. All right, we were ranked 15th. All right, so my friends, this is exactly what what we're trying to avoid. So now I ask, okay, now because Obama completed his tour of New York, and he's just not getting it. He's just not getting it. Our education standards need to be raised. All right, and I think the education system in this country has failed our children. All right, it really has. It really has failed our children. All right, and on this, my friends, we really need to truly understand what is at stake here. All right, so Obama goes around and he I don't know what he's really thinking on this topic here. All right, but his policies really have not done a whole lot to improve education in this country. All right, and people are seeing the dangerous side effects of his policies. All right, and it's as if the president, doesn't have really a clue. All right, so now I move on to Obamacare, okay, which is the worst piece of legislation ever passed. All right, now Nevada unions trash Obamacare. All right, now Nevada's AFL-CIO union passed a resolution Wednesday saying that Obamacare would lead to the destruction of the 40-hour work week, okay, higher taxes, and force union members onto more costly plans, okay? Now, and, yeah, yep, but, Obama turns college recruiter, okay? Now, the White House says that the bus tour through universities, all right, the bus tour through universities, okay, yep, but the bus tour, yeah, the White House says that the bus tour to universities and high schools is focused on college affordability. Really? But since a new Gallup poll found that young adults are least likely to say they are familiar with the healthcare law, okay? And will all and yep. Oh my gosh, this is just yep. Okay, problems with Obamacare. Okay, serious disapproval. All right. Now, the economic bus tour that took him through upstate New York and Pennsylvania at the University of Buffalo. Um, Obama pitched better bargaining for the middle class, and with a call for more education spending. Okay. Now, in an email to supporters, the president wrote, "We have have to fundamentally rethink about how higher education is paid for in this country." You know, seriously, I think we need to give a tax credit for those people that that want to pursue higher education. All right, now tuition spike. Okay, now we've had a serious tuition spike. The Albany Times Union reports that that Governor Andrew Cuomo scheduled to appear, who appeared with the president, created the New York Sony 2020 program, which raised tuition 30% at all SUNY campuses over 5 years. Okay, from $4,970 to $470. Okay, now according to U.S. News and World Report, 63% of Buffalo University students receive some kind of need-based assistance. Okay, now this is not really good for the economy and good for education, because once they graduate from college, you know, there's no jobs available. They're sitting on their butts, you know, collecting public assistance. Okay, it's just not good. The teacher union is in angst right now. The Buffalo Teachers Federation is fuming that their teachers make $20,000 less than their counterparts in other districts. Okay, Buffalo News reports that in some cases, $45,000 less. Okay, and census figures reveal that the city's the city has a 29.9% poverty rate. All right. So what has Obama done to help this? Nothing. All right. All right. And more closer to the point, what has Governor Cuomo done to help this? Nothing. All right. See what happens when you have Democrats in power? All right. They make all sorts of promises, and then they don't follow through on it. They break their promises, and their policies actually end up hurting the ones that they need to help. Okay, so it's just ridiculous. This is why I stress you need to vote Republican. Hello, all right. In fact, now, like I said before, the Gallup has the unemployment rate at 8.9%. That's a jump from what it was in July, and in August. So in August, the unemployment rate rose. Okay, and we are still stuck. New York State reports the median income remains below the 2007 levels. All right, so you know, and it's just not looking good for Obama. All right. In fact, let me tell you about these polls now on Obamacare. All right. In fact, okay, these polls on Obamacare show that okay, less than 2 months before the the health insurance exchanges open nationwide, more Americans disapprove of Obamacare. All right, 49% to 41%. All right, and an additional 11% have no opinion of this. Okay, as this landmark legislation enters the next phase in its implementation process, which, by the way, the president is trying to change the law around, which he can't legally do. He can't change his law that's already been passed, in midstream. He's waived the employer mandate, and he's waived another provision in Obamacare, and he's played favorites with this, and Obamacare is totally unconstitutional. It needs to be revamped. It needs to be it needs a fresh slate, actually. All right, so we need to delay the whole thing. Okay, and this is what I am suggesting. Okay, on Obamacare. All right, now, this is what I'm suggesting we do. We defund Obamacare. Okay, we fund every other aspect of the government except Obamacare. Okay, and then this is what we need to do. We need to totally eliminate Obamacare. Okay, and what we need to do is two major things on Obamacare. All right, and that is to combine cost with concerns about your health, which means you. Okay, so and on that note, we need to install personal health savings accounts like they did in Indiana and in Texas. Okay, what it was, the former governor of Indiana went up to all the employees of Indiana, and he said that I'll give you a certain amount of money for you, and you put it into a personal health savings account. Okay, and that money is to say it's like $5,000. Okay, and that money is to be used for your health care. Okay, for whatever health care you need. Okay, whether it be for prescriptions or for health treatments or whatever. Okay, and whatever you have left out of that, you keep, and it won't be taxed. Okay, so that's the way personal health savings accounts will work. Okay, that's what we need to do. We need to install a system like that, and it worked. Okay, and it worked, and Indiana still has this even after the former governor resigned. Okay, so this is what we need to do. Okay, it's a perfect system to use. Personal health savings account. Look it up. Okay, but on this pool, all right. Now, I want to. Okay, so Gallup, therefore, okay. Now, Gallup has this poll on Obamacare, okay, and they asked, Americans' assessments of future impact of the Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, okay. In the long run, they asked, okay, in the long run, how do you think the health care law will affect your family's health care situation? All right. Now, and they also asked, how do you think the health care law will affect the situation in the U.S.? Okay. Will it make things better? Will it not make much of a difference, or will it make things worse? Okay. Now, get this. All right. Now, the okay, the people that said that it would make the percentage, it was okay. So 24% said actually. Yeah, actually now it's 35%. 35% said it would make it better. Okay, versus no, it was before it was 24% that said it would make it better. 34% not much difference. Okay, and then 38% that would make it worse. Said it would make it worse. Now, 35% said it would make it better for their okay, yeah. No, when asked how will it affect your family's healthcare situation, 24% said it would make it better. 34% said it wouldn't make it much of a difference, and 38% said it would make it worse. All right. Now, when asked how will it affect the healthcare situation in the U.S., okay, 35% said it would make it better. 15% said it would make no difference, and 44% said it would make it worse. Okay, now Americans familiar with the Affordable Care Act, okay, which is Obamacare, okay, still thinking about the 2010 Affordable Care Act. How familiar are you with the health care law? Very familiar, somewhat familiar, not too familiar, or not too familiar at all. Okay? Now, 15% said very familiar, 53% said somewhat familiar, and 18% said not too familiar, 12% said not at all, and 2% said no opinion. Had no opinion. Okay? Now, when combined with Americans familiar with the law, more likely were more likely to disapprove of it than approve of it. All right. So now they combined it. They combined this, and I'm gonna put this up here. All right. But the ones that said that they were very familiar or somewhat familiar, okay. 42% approved, 55% disapproved, and 2% said they didn't know. All right. Now, the ones that said that they were not too familiar or not at all familiar with it, 36% said that they approved, 39% said that they disapproved, and 21% said they didn't know. All right. Now, my question would be, actually, if I were to conduct this poll, all right, I would ask, have you been paying attention to the political situation? And I guarantee you, those people that say that they have been paying attention, you would see that disapproval rating of Obamacare shoot way, way up. I guarantee you that. Okay. All right. Now, before I get to the phone calls, all right, I want to bring up this little thing here. All right. Up here. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, right there, my friends. We need to bring back stop and frisk. All right. And there's a reason for this. All right. And it's what we need to do, but we need to bring back a court in New York ruled to vilify stop and frisk, the stop and frisk program, which has reduced the gun crime in New York City. All right. Now, This is a total shame on the part of the court here, and it needs to be repealed, because now if we don't have stop and frisk in New York, I guarantee you that crime rate will go right back up. Okay, because you notice, okay, New York City has been rated the safest city in America. The safest city in America. That's right. And you know why? It's because we've had stop and frisk. All right. It has gotten the criminals with guns off the streets. Okay. And this I point this out because Chicago is rated the most unsafe city in America, and it's rated the most unsafe the most unsafe city in the world. Okay, it's worse than Afghanistan. All right, they have the strictest, toughest gun control laws in Chicago, but yet the gun murders have increased in Chicago. Okay, they don't have stop and frisk. All right, California, their gun violent rate has lowered too, because they have a version of stop and frisk. All right, so this, my friends, we need to bring back stop and frisk. It's really crucial. All right, and with that, my friends, I will take it to the phones on this note. Okay, okay, I will take it to the phones. So the number is 272-3835. All right, if you are paying attention here. All right, okay, this is the Monday, the 26th of August. All right, okay, 8:26. All right, yep, that's right. Okay, so my friends, 272-3835 is the number. Okay, are you paying attention? Okay, have you been paying attention? All right, 272-3835 is the number. All right, what is on your political mind? All right, 272-3835 is the number. All right, but anyway, on all of this, my friends. Okay, why and what in the world is going on? All right, you are on the air. What's on your political mind?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the stop and frisk thing, and what about like in the southern part of the United States where they're like people have guns all the time, they carry them in the pockets, they carry them in the back of the pickup trucks, and there's very low crime. If anybody has a problem or crime being committed, they just pull out the shotgun and just shoot it down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the whole point of stop and frisk is to eliminate the gun violence murders, and stuff, and it's worked. It's been effective. All right, but those southern states, they're mostly conservative, and the crime rate is down there too. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
It's shocking to me, like in New York City, you have, you could get like a whole year in jail just for having a unregistered gun, and isn't that totally against our
No, I think that's
right to keep and bear arms?
I think that's totally logical. I think that's totally logical, because if you're caught in a gun crime, I think it's totally logical. I think it's totally legit. And
yeah, in a gun crime, yeah, but I think even if you're just like a regular citizen that doesn't have a register, you have to be like, I had an instance where I had a handgun that was my dad's, and it wasn't registered, and it was upstate New York, so I was able to get a lawyer and get off of the conditional discharge. But if I was down in New York City, I could have got like a year in jail just for having that was passed down to me from my daddy.
Yeah, but you didn't register it though.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So you should have registered it, in your name, So
Yeah, I was kind of in the process, but then I was also worried about the fact that all registered weapons are on a registry. So if they decide to do a gun grab, then your name is right there, and they know right where to go. If you've got an unregistered weapon, then you've got something to defend yourself with.
well, this whole gun control thing, I'm not for it because gun control does not work. I mean,
Amen.
it's not working in Chicago. It's not working in Washington D.C. and all the other places that have strict gun control laws, they're just not working. I'm a big Second Amendment guy, and
All right, good. We're in agreement there. I was just a little bit worried because
oh no,
of the,
this is
the
a
New York City
conservative
thing
program, my friend. Okay.
because it seems like the New York City thing is contrary to.
No, not at all, not at all. I mean, if you want to avoid the gun crime, okay, it's a good thing to have, the stop and frisk, okay, and it's been working in New York. In New York, New York is the safest city, but without stop and frisk, the gun murder rate is gonna rise to the top. We'll be as bad as Chicago.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting the way you compare the two cities. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with it, but it just gives me the willies about too much government intervention. But anyway, I think we're in agreement about, in general,
Oh yeah.
we should have the right to keep and bear arms. And
Oh yes.
so thank you for talking.
Yep. Thank you for
Enjoy
your call.
program, and
Mhm.
I don't always agree with you 100%, but I think you're doing a good work there, and
Mhm.
thank you.
All right. Thank you for your call.
All right, bye-bye now.
All right, my friends, we need to be paying attention here. All right, and it's conversations like that that I truly love. I love the dialogue. All right, so so my friends, I know that if you have been following the show, you know that I am running for the United States Senate, and I want to improve things. So with Obamacare down the tubes and stuff, we definitely need to defund that and take care of that, and we need to have the laws that that will protect us from any sort of violence here. All right, what's on your political mind? Hello, what's on your political mind?
Hi. What's up with that big bald spot? What's with that big bald spot?
Thank you. Yes. What's on your political mind?
What's with that big bald spot?
What's on your political mind, hun? All right, that's cool. All right. let's talk politics. All right. And thank you for your call. All right, I think that's good. All right, my friends, what's on your political mind? All right, now let's talk about these things here, because this, my friends, is the tip of the iceberg. Okay, now, me personally, I think we need to improve things. All right, there's definitely room for improvement. I mean, with our economy in the tank here, all right, and unemployment is on the rise. It's harder to get a job nowadays, under this administration. All right, and the things that have popped up lately are just not in the in fact, okay, now I actually have a memo, okay, for President Obama, all right, because of the fact that he has not been handling the war on terror well. Okay. Our foreign policy. What's on your political mind? Hello? What's on your political mind?
Can we get some cheeseburgers?
No. Sorry. Alright. Oh, let me show you this. Alright. Before I take another call here, I wanna send a memo out to President Obama here. Alright? Because this is this is quite interesting, okay? Now, there was this Catherine Herridge of Fox News interviewed the director of the CIA, or Director Mueller, okay, and here's what they discovered. All right. Hello, you're on the air. What's on your political mind? This is
Are you a Republican?
Yes.
Are you a Republican?
Yes.
Why?
Because Republicans have the better policies.
Why?
Republicans have the better policies. They improve the economy.
Do you guys want to take away Section 8?
No, not at all, my friend.
Do you guys want to take away Section 8? Really?
No. We want to improve things for you. Improve the economy for you. Abolish the IRS. Make the tax code simpler.
Okay. So
Make it easier. Make it
You should
easier.
become a Democrat.
No. Democrats have the bad policies. Okay? We are under the Democrats. We have the worst economy ever.
No.
Yep. We have the worst economy under the Democrats now.
No.
Right? Yep. Nope. There is not a good economy under the Democrats.
Well, I don't like Republicans.
Republicans have the better policies. Vote Republican. All right. Now. All right. Thank you for your call. All right. Now let me show this interview here. Okay, Catherine Herridge. Okay, with the director Mueller.
We are closely monitoring the situation. I would say that it may well have been postponed. One of the contributing factors, I believe, is the fact that we ramped up and that precautions were taken and that the opportunity they thought they may have had at that juncture was no longer there.
As for a reported conference call between terrorist leaders,
We're seeing dialogue between core al-Qaeda and the affiliates. And as the countries are going through the Arab Spring, that will territorially present a substantial threat down the road.
So al-Qaeda is not dead?
No.
the threat
Yeah. Did you hear that, Obama? Even the former FBI director, Mueller, said Al-Qaeda is not dead. All right? So the way Obama has been fighting terrorism and our foreign policy is a disaster now. All right? Al-Qaeda has regrouped and operated functionally. They've communicated with each other now. All right? Hello? What's on your political mind? You will be the last caller. Okay, thank you for your call. That's about enough of that. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. And now, my friends, it is time for the last words of the night. Okay? And now, as you know, I'm an entrepreneur. All right? But the last words of the night here. All right? And on this particular note here, okay, we need to better ourselves here. And next week, my friends, there's going to be a schedule change in the reruns. All right. So on that note, the last word of the night tonight is on the rerun schedule here. All right. Mike Angley is coming back to Thursday nights live, and so on that note, we have a schedule change of my reruns. Most of the time, my rerun at 8 o'clock on Thursday night has been run. Okay, but Thursday nights you will see now switch to Wednesday nights. All right, and at 8 o'clock. Okay, so that will be the new schedule for September. All right. Okay, so starting next month. All right. And on that note, my friends, okay, so that is the last words of the night. All right. And that is the last word of the night. All right. And I want you to follow me on YouTube or follow me on Twitter at William Mitro 2. Okay. And also, okay, you can watch and subscribe to our YouTube page. All right. Okay. But we thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. Sorry, that's the last call. Vote Republican. Check us out on the web. Facebook.com/PetePolitical and MySpace.com/PoliticalPoint. Email us at politicalpoint@hotmail.com, mccarpet24@hotmail.com, and check out my website on the Elmira City Hall Examiner. All right. Once again, thank you for watching Political Point magazine, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history.